What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your daily news report and an economic update for Monday, June 13th. So there's a bunch of things that we need to go over because right now, according to many reports, many studies, and some surveys, the American people are being robbed by President Biden and his administration. I want to explain what's going on there and why some people are pretty much being shielded from what's actually going on. We're also going to address inflation, talk about unemployment worries. We're going to dive into border security and also address the news coming out of Ukraine. The news that is coming out of Ukraine is not great news, but it's very important to what is happening here in the United States. So I will break down all that in today's video. And all I ask, take 2 seconds. First, go ahead, hit that like button, and also click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Let's get right down to it. First, President Biden had a plan. His plan was to turn the economy around as quickly as he could. Now, he said he wouldn't make anybody pay any more in taxes. He wanted to make sure that our economy was back on track didn't matter the cost. His administration continued to pump trillions and trillions of dollars back into the U.S. economy, and it helped. They also tried to extend enhanced unemployment benefits almost indefinitely. Well, that quickly got shut down. They attempted to pay parents a child tax credit payment each month. And now, what is being said is that they are robbing the American people because we are paying more. Now, how are we paying more? Well, it's called inflation. It's called taxes, and you put the two together. The Biden administration has been rather quiet on all the additional tax revenue that they've been getting lately. But why is that? Well, it's because with inflation, the federal government is making more money, right? They're making more money from tax revenue than they've made in the past couple of years, right? They're making more. So why would they want to really come out and address this? That, yeah, our economy is strong. Well, our economy is strong. People are back at work, and when we are, going to buy a product and we have to pay taxes on that, yeah, there's a lot of money going right back into the economy, right back into our government because we are paying taxes on higher priced goods. Guess what? The American people aren't seeing it this way because we haven't been told, hey, this is what's going on. But according to a handful of Republican lawmakers, this is the perfect cover. This is the perfect cover, and the Biden administration isn't talking about it. Now, Republicans try, but not a lot of people really listen, especially lately. So, here's where everything is really starting to come back on the Biden administration. Everything right now is starting to backfire. We know that inflation isn't going to drop anytime soon. It's not going to drop all of a sudden unless we see the Federal Reserve come in and hike rates like we saw back in 1981 when the then chairman Paul Volcker raised rates to 20%. That also shot up unemployment past 10%, close to 11%. Right now, we have inflation at 8.6%, but projections for next month are already saying we will be up past 9%. Yeah, we currently have an unemployment rate of 3.6%, but economists know that if we get some pushback, okay, if the Federal Reserve continues to fight inflation, we will have higher unemployment rates. That is going to happen. And this is where things start to become somewhat troubling for the American people. And it is because of all these things that we are about to really see, right? And these things are going to take place, that many lawmakers say that they need to do more for the American people. President Biden is still urging Congress to take up his Build Back Better agenda. However, many are completely against it now, especially with the rise of inflation. We now know that Senator Joe Manchin and the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, they've been working on a deal for climate spending. They've been working on a deal for prescription drug reform and increasing taxes on the wealthy in order to pay for all this. What we do know is these negotiations were started months ago, and they're getting closer to coming up with a deal. But the expectation is this. this deal will not be announced until sometime in the end of June or after July, or sometime in late July. It will likely be passed before the August recess. What we are being told is that this negotiation is ongoing, but once the bill is ready, it will almost be forced onto lawmakers to, here it is, we're voting today. That's the likely situation. Is they're not going to have a chance to read it. They're not going to have a chance to make any amendments. It will be, here's the bill, let's vote. That's what we're hearing. Now, the one thing that could derail these negotiations is if there's something else that's more pressing than climate. Now, according to recent reports, border security and immigration is still something that must be considered, and now more people are talking about it. Reports out of Mexico say that Mexico has actually issued 7,000 temporary documents to migrants in the south. Now, these documents give migrants 1 month to leave the country of Mexico. And according to the media in Mexico, the majority of the migrants are slowly making their way up to the United States. So now this is going to be a U.S. problem. Now, I honestly don't think we are going to see the Biden administration drop climate for border security. That's not going to happen. But experts are anticipating that they will attempt to address immigration at some point. The only problem is that the Senate parliamentarian doesn't believe that immigration should be a one-party plan. It must be bipartisan, which is one of the reasons why it continues to have issues trying to get passed through a budget reconciliation. And that's where Democrats have their budget or their reconciliation bill where they can pass something without 60 votes. They only need 51 votes. Right now the Senate is split 50-50, and Vice President Kamala Harris jumps in as the 55th tie-breaking vote. So that's what's happening there. Now let's talk about this war between Russia and Ukraine, because what we are seeing now is that this is something that is turning into an even bigger issue. Reports this morning indicate that roughly 30% of inflation that we are seeing here in the United States is due to the war between Russia and Ukraine. So having this war last much longer is actually going to hurt the American people even more, as well as people in other countries. But the reports lately also indicate that Russia has been steadily gaining ground in Ukraine. This is not what we want to see. What we're being told is Russia has more firepower than Ukraine, and as a result, they're taking what they want. We do know Western officials will be meeting again on Wednesday to talk about providing more military aid to Ukraine, specifically in Kyiv. But what has been said is that Ukraine doesn't have the ability to fight Russia in the Donbas region. Now, they expect, and again, U.S. officials and officials around the world expect within weeks, Russia will take full control over the Donbas region. This is the eastern region of Ukraine. This, right now, will only set themselves up for another all-out attack on Odessa and Kharkiv. Okay? If those two cities are taken, then it would set up a move to Kyiv. This is where Ukraine officials say that is their worry, is if the Donbas region is fully controlled by Russia, which it looks like it's being very close, then they can set themselves up to somewhat regroup and come back and attack the cities of Odessa and Kharkiv. Again, if those things happen, this will be almost a guarantee that Russia will then, again, regroup, set themselves up to attack the capital city of Kyiv. Okay? If all these things happen, what we're being told is, for one, Russia is going to just take over Ukraine, right? So Ukraine will pretty much be no more. But on top of that, it will be very difficult to do anything with the Ukrainian grain, right? So we'll see major food shortages in addition to what we're seeing already. We're going to see some shipping issues, right? There's going to be a lot of problems here. And then if you throw in oil, right, that's another issue. Precious metals, again, more issues. Now, I'm not going to address that in today's video, but just understand, the news out of Ukraine is accurate. I believe it's true, but is it 100% accurate? If it is, it could be devastating to the global economy within the next month. So That's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates again. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.